Well, it's the funniest thing is that ever since, I got into this show, a lot of I get tired of a lot of the fights. I'm like, oh, another fight, every time they're going to a dinner or a party, shit's gonna go down. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired of this. But then this episode, when everybody's happy at the end, I was like, no, I miss those fights. I don't want this. Happiness sucks.
They need to make it up to us. This episode was too not toxic enough.
No.
I don't want them relating. I don't want any kind of relatability, compassion. I want spite. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome. Oh, okay. I'm going to spare you guys this week. I won't do my LVP impression.
No, I think you still stood.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get it started. Welcome, darlings. Top of the morning.
How long has it been since she's left the show?
Oh God, years. Like 5, I'd say.
Okay.
5, 6. With so many scandals ago, so many lifetimes ago. So
seems like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you guys, I know I transported you to Villa Rosa right there with my dead on impression, but in case you can't figure out, it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with Pretty Corrupt.
Woo!
Yay. Stacey is having buccal fat injections, like implants. She wants to look like more gerbil is in this season. So so it's Nate and me. No girls allowed this week.
Well, they'll have to deal with us.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are talking about RHOBH, so I guess we just get into it.
Sure.
What is it? What does it open with? Kyle and her empty nest again.
Yeah. With birds flying into her windows.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say she's mentioned this many times this year. The whole empty nest thing. She's not empty nesting. She has a 16-year-old. I get it that Portia's not always there, but she's not really empty nesting. And frankly, her older daughters are there a lot more than most 20-plus-year-old kids are.
Yeah, I mean they're very close. We never really see her alone, so maybe she's used.
It was very
village.
It was very funny that Portia was being very sketchy about not telling her where they're going.
My first thought was, is she really going to like brunch with Mauricio and one of his side pieces?
It was the awkward silence was a lot.
Yeah. That was. I was like, this isn't adding up. What is Portia afraid to tell her?
Especially since she was already at Mauricio's. Like the whole, it always cracks me up. I get it. They have to do it for the exposition so the audience knows what's going on. But nobody talks on the phone. Like she talked to her own daughter being like, so how was staying the night at your dad's? Nobody talks like that. But it had to be explained to us. But yeah, she clearly was at his house or his apartment, whatever he has.
Yeah. And something I caught in there that is kind of like a family thing with them. You know how the bird's tapping on the window and she's like, what is the bird trying to tell me? They're very into like astrology and psychics and things like that. And I know they believe hummingbirds tapping on it's Big Kathy they believe in spirits visiting them, and the birds coming to their window is I don't know how many people they interpret it as, but I do know they believe sometimes it's Big Kathy. So that's why she was kind of like, yeah.
Then I don't know where the metaphor gets at the. I mean, I don't want to jump all the way to the end, but the fact that the episode starts with a bird banging on her window and ends with a dead bird on the beach.
Oh,
that was pretty fitting. Yeah.
Her mom was telling her your time on this show is over.
Seems like it. Yeah.
And then like what? So then like Erika is playing both sides here.
Yes. Yeah.
This opened with the FaceTime goes from Portia to Erika, and Erika is saying how like there are too many people piling on you, too many people getting involved, which is not a housewife's instinct to say keep these fights simple and between the two parties.
Mm-hmm. I've mentioned this several times, but I really feel like I've missed out with the whole villain Erika thing. You know,
Mhm.
for years, all I heard about it is the top tier villain, housewife
Mhm.
villain, and then the last 2 seasons, she's just mellowed out, and now, yeah, now she's Switzerland.
Oh, yeah, you weren't around for when Erika came on, she was a bad bitch.
That's what you guys always talked about it. Everything, all I've ever heard about was this, not evil, because I know people liked her, but
Mhm.
she was the villain. She started shit. Now she's doing the exact opposite. She's
She
trying to be
was
a peacemaker.
she was like an old school spelling villain, like something out of Melrose Place. She came on in like latex bodysuits and vicious stares and her hair. Like she came on like, and now she has to survive. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
I mean, even
Uh,
in the flashbacks that they show of previous fights, she looks like it's a completely different person.
yeah, yeah.
Not only the way she looks and dresses, but the way she acts, everything. Now I wish I would have seen that version.
Yeah, you'll have to go back because she used to be intimidating, like really like an old school, like something you'd see. Like she operated like a soap opera character. Very, and now
Yeah,
she's soft and neutral,
yeah.
supportive.
Telling
Ugh.
both sides they're right. Like, oh no, you're right. No, 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 you're right. You're right. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't. No, none of this. None of
yeah.
this.
Something I do love is this new friendship with Dorit and Bose. I think it's adorable.
She already called her ride or die.
I have a theory about it, and it's not super politically correct, but it is funny, and I think it's adorable how they connected because we know last season Garcel accused Dorit of maybe being racist or
Privileged. Yeah, I think
yeah, yeah.
privilege was the word she used that set Dorit off. Yeah.
And the way I view this and Dorit's excitement to have Bose in her life is like Legally Blonde. Remember in Legally Blonde, she gets told she's not smart enough for law school or she needs more. So she just and they're like, did she just wake up one day and said, I think I'm going to go to Harvard Law? I feel like Dorit is so excited. She woke up one day and they cast Bose. She was like, I'm going to have a new African American friend, and I am going to show Garcelle. And
Yeah.
she's just so excited about it.
I'm curious how she feels about it.
Yeah.
She, on one hand, she could be like, okay, finally. And maybe thank God it's not me that she tried to do this with. I
Yeah.
mean, Bose so far has been the only one has been her ride or die all season
Yeah.
long. Like you could tell from day one, Bose didn't care for Kyle much, and now it's very obvious how little she cares for her.
Yeah, they jump into it with that because Bose is talking about how what did she say? Bose points out with Kyle that she keeps claiming she didn't know Dorit and PK that she didn't know they were having problems. She's playing dumb and trying to distance herself when they were supposed to be good friends.
Yeah.
And it's like she calls out Kyle's convenient memory and definition of friendship. That's a big thing with Kyle. You're my sister. You're like my sister. Then I barely know you. It all depends on where you are in our hierarchy that week.
It's the old Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
Yeah.
When things don't go her way. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I'm trying to think. What else did because Buzz literally called her a liar in this. She said in her confessional, Kyle is a liar. She's lying about the depth of her knowledge to make herself. Oh, this was the best line when she said, if she's lying about Dorit knowing the extent of Dorit's problems to make herself look better, she's making herself look even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always make fun of her with the just mentioning memes over and over and over again with everything with PK. I feel like every episode now, Kyle has some sort of freak out where she says, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Every episode. And then every episode she keeps talking about it. Well, we know she's going to talk about it next week and the week after that, the week after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like again, I have not watched many seasons, but I feel like there used to be more plot lines, right? Like this is it.
Yeah.
It's the two of them fighting every week. Then it's just the only thing that changes is which women are on which side.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were very clear-cut sides 2 weeks ago. It was very
Mhm.
clearly Garcel, Sutton, Kyle, Bose. Well, Erika was sort of, I guess, in the middle, but now even like Sutton, Garcel are fluttering between the sides. So I guess
Mhm.
that's something, but it's still there's not much. Maybe I have like Orange County so close in my memory because in Orange County there were so many things going on at
Yeah.
once. This one just feels kind of just
Well, with Beverly Hills, they do have a history of latching onto one issue and milking it for an entire season. That
yeah.
is a lot of people online like complain about that. And I mean, especially with this episode. This episode wasn't a real there's too much resolution, too
Yeah.
much peace. I don't
Happy endings, no happy.
no,
I need
no.
an episode to end on a fight with a to be continued card
Yeah.
that comes up after it. This no.
Yeah. Especially like I'm sure you guys have seen the mid-season trailer and you'll see Dorit no, you'll see Sutton flexing on Dorit about how much wealthier she is. That's the kind of stuff I live for. I don't want to see them talking it out without voices being raised, without insults flying. So it was a hard watch.
I mean, Sutton is trying to pick. She's been trying to pick fights all year.
Mhm.
Like she'll just pick fights for no reason. Like a few weeks ago
Yeah.
when she did the you're not mad at me, you're mad at your life. That kind of came out
Yeah.
of nowhere. This week she sort of pissed everybody off with when we can get to it, but when she just interrupted Dorit for no apparent reason, it's she's just trying to start something maybe, or
Yeah.
just trying to be involved because
Mhm.
otherwise Sutton has had nothing this season really.
Yeah. She did. Oh, wait, before we get into that, because Sutton starts firing up shortly after this, but we need to talk about what Dorit revealed, which is how PK, or should I say PK's sponsor, broke up with her.
Yeah, I mean, Bose didn't really react that much to it, but I had questions the moment I was listening. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, she said that they were in the back, Dorit's backyard, the three of them, PK
Mhm.
Dorit and PK sponsor, who he hasn't been in recovery that long. As far
Yeah.
as we know, it was post last season because
Mhm.
I don't recall any conversation about his alcoholism prior to this season, at the beginning of this season,
Yeah.
you know. So whatever sponsor he has not been with him that long. And I mean, I know people who are sponsors. My sister-in-law has been an AA sponsor for 25 years, so I'm somewhat familiar with it. I could totally see how if you've had a sponsor for a very long time, they sort of are a therapist of a kind, sort of.
Mhm.
But for somebody that's been with them for such a short time, and I can't imagine I have to ask my sister-in-law, but I can't imagine any sponsor would insert themselves that much. Like maybe PK and the sponsor on a private conversation, the sponsor was like, "You need to. I think you should do this. You should tell her this." But the
Yeah,
way
like
Dorit
coaching.
explained, yeah, the way Dorit explained it was the sponsor flat out said, "You guys need to separate," which
Mhm.
that seems like inappropriate.
This got me so excited because I think I found a new calling in life. I'm jealous of the sponsor. Look at this person is like straight up just meddling in housewives business, ending marriages casually.
Yeah,
That is my
yeah.
calling. So I want to know who the sponsor is. But yeah, she even said there, she's like, it didn't come from PK, and I don't know if it came from PK. The
I feel like it had to have because again, like okay, say it was a sponsor of 20 years. So they're well, I mean, at that point, they're almost part of the family, sort of.
Mhm.
Like, it's almost like a longtime therapist. But this is just so weird. And
Yeah.
it's just if it couldn't have just come from the guy, it had to be a separate or a guy. I'm sorry, I don't know if the sponsor's male or female. They
Mhm.
didn't actually specify,
Yeah, they
anything more about him,
'cause
about them.
I know, because I was gonna go on PK's Instagram and find this person, but it was like, I don't even
I
know what gender I'm looking
I can't
for.
imagine he'd be posting things. That's the whole thing with that's the whole thing with sponsors is they're helping the person, but they don't want to be in the limelight. Like PK's not going to be posting photos with me and my sponsor. But I mean, I
Selfish.
feel like that was just PK probably just doing a coward thing of
Yeah.
just having the sponsor be his messenger,
Yeah.
because that otherwise that's so inappropriate and very strange.
It's really wild that he went into I mean, they're veterans of the show now, and that he timed all this so that either he wanted it to go on camera, maybe he thought he'd have more control, or that she would bury it for appearances, but instead, Dorit is angry and has a camera crew and nothing to lose. So, it backfired on him.
I mean, so much of this stuff at least with PK and Dorit, so much of it is not on camera, and I don't know if that's. I mean, has PK
Mhm.
even been on camera this season? Oh, like that dinner they had early on where he said,
Yeah.
but outside of that, I don't remember even seeing him this year.
Yeah, he's supposed to be living separately, and, um
And that's a whole thing with the kids sort of figuring it out, kinda.
yeah, off Instagram. How old is Jaggy? He
I was gonna
is
I think like 8, isn't it? I'm trying to remember
somewhere
the
he came on as a little when they joined the show, he was a toddler and Phoenix was a baby. Like, they were still carrying her, like, maybe she was 1 and so probably about
I
10, well into
I
elementary school
I
age.
feel like every time they show the kids, they put their age in, like, the little
Mhm.
chyron, and I wanna say they're, like, 10 and 8, 8 and 6.
Yeah,
So, either way, it's easy for normie parents to probably hide that from their kids for a certain amount of time, but not reality stars, especially
yeah,
if you're gonna be posting. I mean, I'm sure Jagger does not have an Instagram account, but he's old enough to. I mean, people have to be talking about it around him, you can't keep
yeah.
that a secret forever. I mean, what he got
Especially
like
like, they're on a show, and I assume the kids go to private school. All the moms in her class, her kids' class are talking about it. I mean, something when you're like a housewife, the other moms in your kids' school love it because they wanna feel like they're kind of involved, and they
Mhm.
can tell their friends like, "Oh, it was just at their friends at yoga. I just ran into what's her name?" And I have the feeling like the whole entire carpool was talking about her, like, TMZ worthy Instagram announcement,
Exactly.
so
Yeah, so it would come up, but I mean, the only thing I could think of that would protect the kids or shield the kids from it is the time lapse of when they record and when it airs,
Mhm.
because obviously the teachers, the other parents wouldn't have those details until they watch the show.
Yeah,
But of course, this all happened 6 months ago, so that'd be the only, like, lag I could think of. But of course,
yeah,
the kids were gonna figure it out at some point. There's only you can only go for so long being like, "Oh, daddy's in London, he's working." That only
yeah.
but yeah, it's
He he oh my god, what was I gonna say about that? Did you like we were talking about it a minute ago since we're talking Sutton's reaction to that heartbreaking story?
that was I mean, my love for Sutton is strong, but
Yeah,
she's done and said a few things this year where I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, that was
yeah,
completely unnecessary. It was a heartfelt moment that all the one of the few times all season where well, I mean, Garcelle wasn't there, but all the other women were, feeling bad. It was like a nice conversation, and then Sutton
mhm,
just out of nowhere interrupts. Well, I can't remember the first. She interrupted to say we really should go, but I forgot. Oh, she just first off said interrupts and says, "Well, Garcelle says that she wants this to be a fun night, no fighting." And it was like, Sutton, they weren't fighting. We weren't
yeah.
fighting. This was a nice moment. If anything, you just made it a thing.
Yeah. She just straight up, like, cut the store up. Well, everyone, even if they don't like her, they're doing that sad face and nodding along, and Sutton's like, "Anyways," there was
Th-
no show. She didn't even
And
acknowledge Dorit was speaking.
And then, Erika in her confessional actually said Sutton, you need to have some tact, show some tact. And that coming from Erika Jane, at least based on, again, like I said, the last 2 seasons, she's been this normal person. But I feel like the one you guys always talked about did not show any tact ever. So for Erika to call you out on that seems pretty wild.
It's like it shows too a little bit how Erica's grown or changed, because you weren't around for the Denise Richards season, which this moment kind of triggered Denise was part of the reason Denise left. They were at a barbecue, I think in Malibu. It may have actually been Denise's house, but yeah, it was Denise's house. And the kids are at the other table, the women are one, and I think Erika's talking about threesomes or something like that. Really, this was her raunchy,
Oh, yeah.
wild day.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, and then Denise gets really upset and says, "You can't talk about that in front of my children." And Erika's like, one, their father's Charlie Sheen. They know what a threesome is.
Yeah.
And two, they're old enough to be on the internet. So, and like she stood her ground on that. And now flash forward, and she's sad that Jaggy Kemsley is seeing things on Instagram, and so sympathetic. I'm like, I'm talking about what a demon she was, saying you missed the good days.
Well, Sutton even called her, I mean, Sutton called her a minion. She said Erika's a minion. And Sutton referred to herself in the third person. She said Erika's a minion. Garcel and Sutton are not minions.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, damn.
Yeah, that was at the dinner, right? Kyle's strategic.
The rallying the troops that went sideways for, I mean, the women, all three of it saw through it. Like first they there was the women talking about going to the dinner, being like, why, or Garcel, I think, was saying, why are we having a dinner before a dinner? Like, what's going on here? They're like, oh, she's trying to get us all on the same page. So it was very obvious what she was doing. And then when they actually get to this dinner, they were just calling her out from the beginning. You know, she, like, Kyle just issued a blanket apology for her behavior, and Sutton's like, what are you apologizing for? Be specific.
Sutton, I went as she was going, like she wasn't going to let her go. She was like, what are you apologizing for? Roll this back. Let's go step by step what you see or what you think happened. And I was thinking of Sutton with Kyle last season. It was getting a little boring, and I almost wanted to be like, Sutton, let the mouse go. She was just rehashing detail by detail. I'm like, she issued a few apologies. Like, she just wouldn't let it go.
No. Again, that's what I said. Sutton just seems to be picking fights this year for weird. Like, that was a weird fight to pick, I guess. I mean, she was apologizing, which is something she didn't do to Bose, which Bose again brings up later when she sees her for the first time was that at Sutton's house?
Garcel's.
No, before they all went to the beach house together, but I can't remember whose house they were at. Was it Sutton's house?
Kyle's. They all met up at Kyle's, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Bose and Kyle just did not say any, because that was the first time she'd seen Bose since storming out of her Serenity soiree last week. And she's like, Kyle's issuing blanket apologies to everybody, but did not say a thing to Bose. And you could tell, I mean, Bose just really doesn't like her.
This seems to be a thing between them. I think Bose is picking up from Kyle that Kyle doesn't really care about her, because there's the whole, what was it last week? Oh, when Bose called out that Kyle showed everyone the text but me and Dorit, because she knew we would dig into it. Now she's going around apologizing to everyone except Bose when the scene happened at Bose's house. Yeah. So I mean, I think Bose is picking up on the vibes here.
But it was just, I don't know what Kyle thought going into that pre-Garcel's party dinner with Erika, Garcel, and Sutton, but it didn't work out well for her. She just probably thought, okay, I'm going to go apologize to everybody. I'll rally the troops. I'll secure my team, and none of them wanted, except for Erika, because Erika is just vanilla now. Erika's just agreeing with everybody. But like she was upset with Garcel, I guess, because of Garcel brought up the text to Bose. And I don't know.
Did you catch, Kyle keeps saying it's like a cult. They're like in a cult. It's been said before, and she's the cult leader. The show revolves around, look, right now it's Dorit fighting with her over her place in Kyle's friendship group. It's always been it's the, like Sutton said last season, it's the altar of Kyle Richards. So for her to be like, these women are like obsessed and weird, maybe it's because instead of fighting for you, they're fighting against you, but she has always liked to be the center of the show with all the women around her.
She just genuinely seems so confused that these women are not on her side.
Yeah.
Like, she had to have gone into that being like, "Oh, yeah, the 3 of them, they're with me. I've got them."
Mhm.
And then, nope.
Yeah. She's been in the hot seat before, but it's usually one-on-one, like her arguing with LVP or her not getting along with Brandy. She's never been viewed, at least to her face. These women aren't hiding it anymore, that this season she's basically the one on the outs with the group.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean,
She's
everybody keeps saying, is this her takedown season?" I mean, I don't know because I've not seen enough of them to know what a quote unquote takedown season looks like. But compared to last season, when everybody
yeah.
like felt sympathy for her because they saw everything she was going through, it just seems like all the women now are over it, and they just
Yeah.
because now they're now Dorit's the sympathetic character.
Mhm. Yeah, Kyle's not at the center. Kyle's not controlling it. And I do think, I don't know how the season will end as far as takedown, but production is doing a couple of things to make it seem like a takedown season. At that lunch or that dinner, the pregame dinner where Kyle summons them to accept her apology and take her side. They're talking about Sutton's grilling her. Garcel is saying Kyle's story is shifted again with the PK text, and production does a flashback to all the times over the years Kyle has told the other women to take accountability, to be open
Yeah.
and honest. When production does that to you, they're not on your side.
No, which, I mean, Kyle wouldn't. I mean, I don't know how early they get to see a cut of an episode.
Mhm.
But obviously when they're recording it, she has no idea what production is going to do to her in the final edit, like with
Right.
those flashbacks but
Yeah, they get the screener like the week of the episode, so they're like are a week ahead. They're prepared, but they're not involved in editing. They don't.
yeah, no, I imagine that their first time to talk about it, I get is at the after shows, but I'm sure
Mhm.
in the moment, like, Kyle didn't, like you said, she's been the star, the alpha. She probably had no idea the production was just gonna, take
Yeah.
her down.
Someone, because this happened like on Vanderpump Rules. I think a producer, you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. I think a producer ended up getting let go, or an editor. Someone hated Sheena, and they were always doing Sheena Shea flashbacks to her just repeating herself or her being hypocritical. And eventually it came out this editor or something hated Sheena. And like that's why they were so hard on her. And I mean, I'm not saying someone's unfairly going after Kyle here, but production keeps pointing out Kyle's faults, which they usually don't do.
And imagine the work that has to go into that, unless somebody there has an encyclopedic memory of things that Kyle or any of the women have said over the years,
Mhm.
and can be like, "Oh, let's go back and let's grab that clip." But otherwise, they're sending somebody to go back and pour over footage to find things that will make Kyle look
Mhm.
bad. So they're going out
Yeah.
of their way to do it.
Maybe she didn't send Alex Baskin a great holiday gift this year or something,
Maybe.
because they used to be, the rumor was that Kyle was a secret like producer on the show because she always was in a position of power and could make or break you with her friendship. And people thought she had some kind of production power. And this season, I think this season kind of lets those rumors go. This is not her season. She's not in control.
Maybe she should have sent Alec Baskin a Dolce& and Gabbana toaster, because that
Yeah.
might have smoothed things over.
I
I
like that one.
I honestly, I knew you would. This is why I've said it so many times this season that I understand she won't have plot lines because she's a friend of, but I just adore Jennifer Tilly. She just anytime she has any part of the show, whether it's saying something funny or just randomly showing up with random gifts of she just I just love everything about her.
Yeah, she even her voice is even, like, wholesome. She does
Exactly.
not have a I can't imagine her cussing or saying anything mean because her voice is kinda childlike and whispery and, you know?
Yeah, and I honestly I didn't realize until they mentioned it. I think it was last week about that she's Canadian. I didn't even realize that because she kept
Oh,
mispronouncing meme. She kept calling him
yeah.
Mims, and then she was like, "I'm Canadian. I don't know." And I honestly had no idea that Jennifer Tilly was Canadian. So
Yeah, I
maybe
didn't
that's
either.
yeah,
I did like her thing when she was, saying she did love her husband. They divorced, but he changed her life, and she thanks him every time she's driving down the street and can opt
ballet.
for valet.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Totally, totally.
Yeah. Some of these women don't like paying for valet either. So, tell you, like the Beverly Hills Hotel valet is like $60, and it's kind of like, yeah. So add that to your lunch, your $60 salad, and your like $15.
D does
And
production cover those things? Like, do they cover the meals and, like, the valets and things like that?
yeah, I mean, well, as far in real for filming, they don't do too much valet because if you notice, they send
No
SUVs
cars.
for them. Yeah.
Except for I noticed that Kyle's the only one who ever drives herself really, but that's
Mhm.
also because she's not drinking. So
Yeah.
she can drive herself. I mean, God, the number of times Sutton this year has just been in the back of the SUV with her solo cup. It's like,
Mhm.
wow. I mean, I know it was a joke last year, but she's carrying these to go cups a lot. So I understand those women not driving.
Yeah, it's weird with Sutton in that because on one hand, she doesn't want to be called a drunk. She doesn't want to be she gets really upset. But on the other hand, I feel like she's also testing out if she can make this a product line. Her drinks or her something, Southern Girl vodka crayons or something. I don't know. But it's like kind of like Kyle with the lesbian thing. Sutton doesn't want you to talk about her drinking, but she also is kind of like seeing how far she can milk it.
And there's nothing subtle about a red Solo cup. Have you ever seen
Mhm.
anybody, I mean, maybe at a barbecue or something, but if you see somebody drinking out of a red Solo cup, you know they're drinking.
The cops in Malibu once they got ticketed because I was drinking on the beach. That's illegal. Which by the way, so when you hear at least when you see them having these like we'll get into it in a minute, Garcel's party on the beach, the barbecue and stuff. You have to kind of get permits to do that and film not just film, but have things like servingware, like glass and stuff.
Mhm.
Anyways, the point is, once underage, I got caught drinking on the beach in Malibu, and the cops told me, next time don't use a red Solo cup and we won't notice. They were
It
nice about it. They
yeah,
were
it
like,
could not be in the Midwest, we have bars that do roadies, they'll give you
mhm,
a to-go cup, they're not supposed to, but
mhm,
it's definitely something more subtle. It's usually like a white styrofoam cup or
yeah,
something. Red Solo cup is dead giveaway, absolute
yeah.
dead giveaway, and I don't know, maybe Sutton like you said, maybe that makes sense because otherwise it looks like she's drinking all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe she is trying to, you know, maybe
I
you're
mean,
right.
like the specifying they've been very specific on this season, but often they are, but they're all vying to get sponsorships out of it. So like I don't know if Sutton ever got one. We'd probably have to check her IG, but the fact that she kept specifying ocean, what is it? Ocean
Ocean
spray,
spray.
grapefruit. That is total like I carry it in my purse, you never know. That is someone if it wasn't placed and it wasn't paid, it's them fishing for a deal
It
from
was
these
even
brands.
it was even without any mention of it whatsoever, the bar at Garcel's, she had the bar at her beach house little dinner party. There was it was a it was when Jennifer Tilly Sutton and Dorit were like taking photos together at the bar, and they were talking about the backlighting and everything. The one thing you could see on the bar was very clearly a bottle of ocean spray. Like I don't know if the label was turned so you could see it, but everybody knows what ocean spray looks like.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I'm also curious if that's a sponsorship Ocean Spray wants to be do they want to be synonymous with alcohol? Like, because they are a juice company. Like, it's not a great look for them that Sutton is drinking all the time with their drink, bring it in her purse to bars. Like Ocean Spray might be saying, this isn't the best endorsement.
Yeah, it depends on the way you behave when you're drunk on camera.
That's true.
Because if you're like part of a violent meltdown, they might be like,
you know what? I mean, compared to other housewives and things, as much as they make jokes and make comments about Sutton's drinking, she's never she never gets has any super inappropriate, wow, she's really drunk things. It doesn't seem like, and maybe I've just missed them. I don't know.
So we should actually do a deep, we should check her IG, but maybe we'll have to put this up in stories. Because at this point, if they haven't sponsored her by now, she should drop it.
Yeah, because it's not
giving them free advertising.
Not gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't. What reason would they have to pay her at this point? They don't need to.
Yeah, right. That's when they like. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? I haven't seen in Ralph's or whatever where a Sutton edition grapefruit juice. So maybe I don't know.
That would be very funny if she was angling for sponsorship deals with both Solo cups and Ocean Spray.
Yeah,
because she never specifies the vodka in her drinks, does she? Like Dorit always says Kettle One, right? But I don't recall a time when Sutton has specified a vodka.
Yeah, I've seen her pour vodka like Tito. I always make note. I've told you guys this. I always make note of what they're drinking and pouring because in case I see that like a hostess gift or something, I always like to know what someone likes. I've clocked her pouring Tito's, but I don't know if she's even said it out loud. It was just more
you just know the bottle. Yeah.
This was good I caught because this is where Kyle and Sutton, at two different points in this episode, they accuse each other of the exact same thing, which is holding themselves to a different set of rules than the other women. And, at the dinner where Sutton's grilling Kyle about storming out of the party and causing a scene at Bose's, and Sutton saying her confessionals, I'm not letting when I do this, Kyle gets upset. And Kyle tells me not to, but if she does it, it's okay. Later on, was it at the beach? Kyle says the same thing in her confessional about Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Oh, was it with the Jagger thing? Where she just cuts Dorit off?
So. Yeah, I think so.
So they're both pointing fingers at each other about them holding themselves to a separate standard. But I feel like, well, we're flashing forward a little to a different episode coming up, but like, I wonder if Sutton thinks this season is her chance to be the top dog. It's always been Kyle's show. Now she has Sutton as Kathy on her side. Kyle is being chased by the other women. Sutton in this cast is probably the richest, if not one of the richest of the main housewives on here, or like full-time cast. Maybe she thinks this is her time to shine and kind of take over the show.
Yeah. Maybe.
She's going for, I mean, she's enjoying seeing these women fall. She's not there to help Kyle. She's not there to help Dorit.
Yeah, whereas like I said, Erika is making a point to side with both women. Sutton is done the opposite.
Yeah.
Like she's not really, as much as Kyle wants her to be her, her ride or die, she's not. Sutton's called her out so many times this year. And then Sutton and Dorit, they don't have any really, they don't seem to care for each other at all.
No. Yeah. I feel like this might be Sutton because I think this is her. She's found her voice, you could say, or she sees an opportunity. There's weakness in the cast, and maybe now she can rise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know if she has the fortitude, the inner strength to carry this show because it is so toxic and complicated, and she does get frazzled. Like she gets upset if you talk back.
Mm-hmm.
She's not great at like a tennis game with these fights. It's not back and forth. She'll yell at you and then be like, "I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if she could continue to lead. She's not a leader. She's a pot stirrer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What other fun things happen here? This was a little disappointing for me because they get to the beach house, which is a fairly peaceful, productive. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
And this is what let me down. When they arrive at the beach house, Garcel's beach house, it opens with a timestamp. It says Garcel's beach house, 12 p.m. When production does a timestamp, they're usually letting you know there's going to be crazy drama to come. And throughout the party, they will be like 1:15, 2:30, 2 a.m.
Yeah, they're either showing you how long this has been drawn out or how quickly it went sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I could totally see them saying Garcel's beach house, 12 p.m. Then you cut to them screaming at each other and it's like 12:15. Like that would be a funny production joke.
Yeah, they they use those timestamps to kind of frame it like a crime drama, or a police scene. But no, it ended up being rather peaceful, rather.
Yeah, even Dorit and Kyle just sort of hashed it out and didn't get into any last fights, and they, it was disappointing.
Upsetting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so. Yeah, I don't know. I think Kyle. Well, okay. At this point, the dinner the night before didn't go well for Kyle. I mean, it was cordial, but all the women knew, and all the women were questioning. They were not going to be they weren't going to be her soldiers the way Teddy Mellencamp has always been her soldier, etc. And I think that's why she went into Garcel's party determined. She went over to get Dorit, right? And say, "Can we talk?"
Yeah, she did.
I think she realized she had to take a different approach.
And even as a viewer, you see that and you're like, oh, well, I guess we're going through this again, but at least it'll be somewhat entertaining. And then to see them just just to hug it out, it's like, nah, that's just.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm curious, with Garcel's beach house, they don't really show the neighborhood so much, but you can kind of just see in the background. Like hers is the only really nice house. The other ones, I'm sure the other ones are valuable. And it's because it's beachfront property. Although, but I'm just curious how the neighbors feel, because yes, her house, it's so much nicer than what it appears the neighboring homes. Mm-hmm. So maybe the neighbors are like, well, this might increase property values for us, but at the same time, as beautiful as her house is, I don't want to call it an eyesore, but compared to the other houses, it stands out.
It's like a white elephant.
Yeah, it sticks out, and so I'm just very curious how the neighbors feel about that, because it's up in Oxnard. It's Oxnard.
Yeah.
So it's not. This is not a neighborhood where they're used to celebrities being around. This is not Malibu. Right. It's
right.
So I'm just very curious. I'd be curious to know what they think, not of Garcel specifically, but of just everything going around, bringing this production to our neighborhood where we're not used to it.
Yeah, because it's not. I know some people think it's Malibu. It's Oxnard. It's about, I don't know, another 20 miles up. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a beach community. Her neighborhood. They're kind of like surf shacks. You
exactly.
See them.
Yeah. And again,
it's not a movie star neighborhood. It's not billionaires and things like that. It's nice. I don't have one. I wish, but I mean, it's not like Kathy doesn't summer in Oxnard. So
no.
And I mean, this is it's very laid back like surfer people.
Yeah, and it's just, again, it's a beautiful home. I don't have they shown like what the property looked like before? They've shown kind of this season when she's talked about the beach house. They've showed like what it started at, where it was just an empty lot, but I don't know
Mhm.
what the house looked like that was there
It
before.
was a little shack. It was
Like,
one
so
of
like the
those.
neighbors, like all the
Yeah.
neighboring homes.
And I think she paid for it like $750, I want to say. Remember, it's not on the sand. It's a couple houses behind the sand. Very
Yeah, I mean
close. It's at the beach, but not.
I mean they have to take a golf cart to the beach. They're not just
Right,
walking out the
right.
door. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a teardown. It was a tiny shack of a teardown. So she got a good deal, but now it's worth, I don't know how the prices go, at least a couple million, if not
Yeah.
3. But it was like a little shanty kind of teardown, and she built this big new thing.
It's just there's neighborhoods near me here where that were, just one-story ranch house type things that all of a sudden developers just started building these huge mansions in.
Mhm.
But the first cut when they built the first few, they just stood out like a sore thumb, and the neighbors
Yeah.
hated it. The neighbors were like, "Well, that's just ugly." Because they're so big and they don't look like any other house in the neighborhood, which is
Yeah.
every time they show Garcel's, that's what it looks like. And
Yeah.
again, I'm sure it'll help the neighborhood and value and things, but it just looks strange.
Maybe Oxnard, if they're tired of being looked down upon. This is where I'm coming from, because I'm thinking maybe if Oxnard is tired of being looked down upon by like Malibu people or Montecito, Santa Barbara people, they're like, look, we have an actress and TV crews here too. This is Beverly Hills now. I know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that way because too, I'm like, I live in the valley, and I love seeing when they like Garcel lives pretty close to me, and I'm like, I love seeing that wrapped. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Mhm.
Kyle lives in Encino. That's closer to Beverly Hills. Garcel and I live way out in the northern edges of the valley. Not cool at all. Not cool. So when they do show it, I'm like, yes, we're good enough.
I mean, hell, when I moved to LA in the late 90s, we made jokes about Encino. Just the
Mhm.
valley. The valley was a joke, but like specifically Reseda, Encino, Tarzana. But
Mm.
now so many celebrities have moved there and it's become a thing that those are considered nice areas. They're not butts of jokes like they used to be.
Yeah, I mean, Encino's always been expensive, but it's never been cool.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, it's suburban. It's not.
Right, and then the housewives move in, the Justin Bieber, Britney, the
Yeah.
celebrities start moving in, and now it's like now it is a cool area.
Yeah. I can't. I
So
don't.
yeah,
I wouldn't mind moving 7 miles south across to the valley to that end.
so if sometime in the near future Oxnard becomes the cool place, Garcel can lay claim to I started this.
She's
This
the
was
grand dam. She's
this
the
was
grand
me.
dam.
This was me. Yeah.
Oh, one thing about Garcel's, when we're talking about Garcel, the beach and money and stuff, that little game they were playing. And I'm so glad Erika spoke up, because they're doing like the card game, and Garcel's like, how to what lengths would you guys go for $1 million? Like, what filthy, shameful, crazy thing would you do? And I was like, $1 million on Beverly Hills? No, what? And then and Erika jumped in, and she was like, $1 million isn't enough these days.
And coming from her was very funny because of all the cast members, she's the one that might not have that.
Yeah. She upped it to 20 million. She said that would get her going. 20 mil. Because I was like, yeah, you have to raise the stakes. I mean, some of these women have bags more than $1 million in purses. So
I don't think they showed her. I know she didn't say anything, or maybe they did. Maybe I'm misremembering. But Jennifer Tilly. I mean, you said Sutton having the most money. I mean, Jennifer Tilly's got to be.
Yeah. I don't know it's hard. Both of them, we know of Sutton, her 300,000 a month in support, but like she's pointed out on Watch What Happens Live and stuff, well, you don't know her assets as well, implying she has even more. Jennifer Tilly, I don't know how we could do the math on
Well, we don't know what stake she got in the show from the divorce.
That's what I mean.
It's like a vague, oh, I have Simpsons money. And she's even
Yeah.
joked about it in confessionals, being like, I have Simpsons money. But we don't know exactly what that means.
But yeah, it's obviously a lot. I don't know how to begin to piece it together.
I mean, the fact that she has is it Bel Air where her house is, or is it?
Mm.
And
She has 2 homes. The houses she shows, those are Bel Air, kind of around the corner from Sutton.
Yeah, well, she has the 2 because one of them's her like didn't she call it like her party house or her and then she also has I believe she said a Malibu Beach house, and she has a Vegas property. So
Mhm.
she's got money and I mean the fact that she keeps showing up with these random like just necklace. They did sort of a montage of the bags and necklaces she shows up in.
Yeah.
So obviously she does.
And one thing she has that's amazing, because it's Simpsons money and Simpsons continues and continues. She has income from it. It's not like, 20 years ago she got a $5 million lump sum that
It's ongoing.
she's set for life. She has the dream.
I mean, and like we mentioned after the premiere this year, she also has Family Guy money. Like she just has a lot of money coming in from, and she's a professional gambler. I don't know how much she brings in from that. She doesn't need to bring anything in from that, but yeah, she's got a lot coming in.
I know. And when I heard her say she's always surprised she doesn't think of herself as rich. So when she hears the other women say she's rich, she's like, what? Like, very sweet woman. Oh my God, I met her.
Did you?
I forgot about that. She was at Kathy's Christmas party. It's gonna be like, very sweet woman, but not cut out for my like kind of toxic games. I do appreciate Sutton coming in soon and being like, well, my wallet's bigger. Where Jennifer Tilly is like, I can't believe. I was a little stoned when I met her. I spoke to her for a minute. Very just like on the show. Same voice, same warmth and kindness. So
no, she's Canadian. It's
yeah.
thing.
So no, I was like trying to think about it. It's like, oh wait, I've heard the voice in person. Yeah, okay, but hearing her, because on this show, as we know, you come in being like, I'm rich, bitch, even if you're broke. So she has that old Simpsons money, though.
Yeah,
old Simpsons money.
I would love to know the particulars of that, because I mean her. What was his last name? Sam.
Sam. Oh my God.
I'm drawing a blank too.
Yeah, I'll get it in 2 seconds.
Yeah, like he was one of the co-creators of the show.
Sam Simon.
Yeah. So whatever his state. Yeah, I mean, who? Like, I have no idea what Matt Groening, the other creator of Simpsons, I have no idea, but it's a lot. That show's been on for 30 years.
Yeah. What if we could do, okay, one last thing. Let us just see. These are all like the celebrity net worth sites you can't really trust, so you guys know. I mean, it's all kind of like doing what we do. But I just Googled Matt Groening for reference, and they estimate, holy crap, they estimate Matt Groening, Sam Simon's co-creator, business partner in The Simpsons, at $600 million. And I can almost believe it, because I mean, look, The Simpsons is part of amusement parks. It's part of, this isn't, I'm not like, oh, how could you make that off a little cartoon? This is like Disney level. So I mean,
you could make the argument that The Simpsons built the Fox network, because when it started, the Fox network was pretty young and new when The Simpsons started. So that's why I'm saying I want to know more about Jennifer Tilly. I understand. I know you guys have told me she's a friend of. She's not going to have plot lines. Perhaps she's not that interesting, but I want to know so much more about her.
Had I known when I met her at Christmas, I don't think at that point I knew she had Simpsons money. And let's just say, I mean, I would have glommed on a little.
Yeah,
harder.
a lot.
We
faster.
know how I'm.
I do.
I would have lit up. The charm would have just gone through the roof. And every episode now, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was at Jennifer Tilly's last." We're doing no. Hopefully there will be a second go round, and then she doesn't listen to this and know my motives. But
I hope she does. You know what, Jennifer, if you're listening, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
yeah, he's a genuine fan. I just mapped out my thought process about.
Yeah, you're angling for something. I'm just legitimately fanboying about her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, on that. We're gonna get I'm gonna get a cease and desist letter, but no, she's gonna invite you to her Christmas party, but not me.
Yeah.
Mean.
See, that's what I'm angling. Yeah, exactly. The Erika had the at the end, I think it was when she said in her confessional, but it was when Dorit and Kyle went to go hash it out on the beach, where Erika said, and I think she spoke for most of the fandom, certainly for me, when she said, I'm just tired of their drama. I'm tired of their marital drama. I'm just tired of them. And that spoke to me because I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
I agree with you. And we're going to get the rest of the season to this because it's the only plot line there is.
Erika's the voice of the people.
Who would
That is her role this season.
Flashback, I don't know how many seasons she's been on the show, but if you would have said, I don't know, six seasons ago, whenever her height of villainous, when she was still with Tom, when she was still at that point, was she the wealthiest person or one of?
One of. I
Yeah.
mean, now we know it was all a house of cards, but she came on with 2 jets. Her glam squad was $40,000 a month. Everything was their man. I don't know if you've seen, they show flashbacks here and there to her old house for you, but she had a beautiful estate in old Pasadena, like a historic mansion with grounds, very formal. And so when she came on, she was like the baddest bitch, the richest bitch probably. And so now she's just so like, she's the voice of the people.
Which is wild. I mean, yeah. For better or for worse, because I know you specifically, I know a lot of viewers are like, I wish I missed the old one. I miss the old Erika. And maybe she'll come back. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, rumor is she's dated. I don't know if it's still a rumor or not, but I looked the guy up. I know his whole backstory. Who is rumored to be giving her money. He owns a casino. He owns South Point out in Vegas, off the Strip. He's a casino heir. His father owned a lot of downtown Vegas. I don't know how to pronounce it. Gaughan. Gone. I think it's like an Irish kind of one of those names. Like, and anyways, she's rumored, he's an older man, exactly what you'd expect. He's an older, chubby in his 80s, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think she claimed at one point, no, he's just like an attorney friend, but who knows? But maybe if she lands her next one, she'll have that Vegas money. She'll be back. She'll be like, I take it all back, guys. Humble me does not.
No, You know what? I hope she finally finds love because, like she said at the end of the Garcel dinner, she's never been in love before.
Yeah. Maybe she should work on Jennifer Tilly. That's the kind of money. Yeah. On that note, this episode, we managed to make a lot out of it, but there wasn't too much that actually happened.
And a happy ending. I mean, at least we got the mid-season trailer that shows that this happiness is not going to last as far as we can tell.
Fingers crossed. They need to make it up to us. This episode was too not toxic enough.
No.
I don't want them relating. I don't want any kind of relatability, compassion. I want spite. I want.
Well, it's the funniest thing is that ever since I got into this show, a lot of I get tired of a lot of the fights. I'm like, oh, another fight, another every time they're going to a dinner or a party, shit's gonna go down. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired of this. But then this episode, when everybody's happy at the end, I was like, no, I miss those fights. I don't want this. Happiness sucks.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah. On that note, no, we're not quite at Simpsons Jennifer Tilly money yet. We have a little ways to go. But you know how you guys would help us? Doesn't cost you a goddamn thing. Hit subscribe, please. It's the only way to grow, really, and it would really help us out. If you guys could click subscribe, we are everywhere. We are anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. We're on YouTube as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching us. But if you're listening, you can also just go over and click YouTube, comment or something, always helps boost. And also, of course, we're all over social media. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Blue Sky, not OnlyFans. I literally
Not
was
yet.
about to list off.
Yeah.
I was just going up platforms.
It's been a running joke, but at some point it's going to be true.
We're on Craigslist. Well, on that note, who wants to say goodbye?
Adios.